Hello and welcome back to episode 25 of 2.5 Coaches podcast. Welcome back to me. I'm back. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So welcome back like 3 times.
Exactly.
Do you think everyone's welcomed? I feel like
When's the last time we did a podcast? I swear we asked this last time.
No, I did one with
all
Adam.
3 of us.
Oh, not all 3 of us. Ages ago.
You two.
For January.
February.
Dude.
We literally haven't done one together. Oh no, we did one on January.
Yeah, January.
This is a special episode.
Special episode.
Long time.
Everybody.
All right, good intro.
All right.
The trio.
Question of the week. We'll start it off. It's been quite heavily. There's a few stupid answers on the board. But the question is, what is your favourite surface to walk on barefoot?
That's a hard one. I know someone said. What was someone saying?
It's a Lego.
Someone said.
Chakras.
Someone said the floor of bar 1.
Nice
Magnet House. Yeah, Magnet House upstairs can give you a good run for it. Nice and sticky.
Some legitimate answers though. We got sand, grass, turf, tiles, floorboards.
I still think wet mud.
Wet mud.
Wet mud. Like mud when it's wet. It's like soft and.
I'm glad you wrote that down for us.
Thanks for enlightening
No, you know when it's
us as to
raining.
what
When it's
mud
raining,
is.
you're on the field. Instead of running like with shoes on, you go barefoot. It actually feels.
Nicer.
Yeah,
Probably because like your shoes aren't just covered in mud.
but also it feels nice.
So I've had a good one this morning. It was like in summer when you're like walking on the bitumen and it's like really hot, but then you manage to get onto like the white lines that are like painted.
Oh yeah, that's.
I
a good
reckon
one.
like when you get off the hot bitumen onto like some cold tiles, like that's been in the shade and it's like cold. That's a good feeling.
hot sand when it's peak summer,
Hot sand.
45 degrees. Burn the fuck out of your bone foot.
I reckon like good sand is probably my favourite to walk on barefoot.
Where your calves just get a workout.
Yeah, you get the workout in,
Fucking
get the
calves.
intrinsic foot muscles going. You're a big foot guy.
Big
Remember
toe
when
guy.
Keith updated the exercise library with all the like sand,
Feet exercise.
sand, gripping the sand with your toes.
It works.
It goes on these little phases every now and again.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
Then we had lots of debates on like what type of grass is best.
Buffalo grass. That's the only one I know.
Yeah,
DJ's front lawn.
DJ's front lawn. Well kept. Well kept. But yeah, let us know in the comments what your favourite surface to walk on barefoot.
Yeah. Sweet.
All right, we're going to test out a new segment this week. We'll see how long this takes before it gets cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Not long.
that's a more important question of the week: is how long until this gets cancelled. But we're putting responsibility into Keith's hands,
Yes,
giving him
sir.
his own segment. It's called Cookin with Keith.
Yes, so.
Do you want to explain what Cookin with Keith is?
Yeah, so in a segment Cooking with Keith, we're gonna go to tight. Like, how do you say it? It's segments, but then you got 2 different sections.
Subsegments.
Yeah, subsections. That's the one. English is my second language. Bear with me. Right. So one is gonna be a legitimate cooking tip for the week, and the other one's gonna be who's actually cooking.
Who's been cooking?
Who's been cooking on like playing really well at the moment. So it could be court, field, and basically any sport, anyone that we have in here. Yeah, it's cooking.
Chef.
So on the first one, actually been using this. Actually, this is actually a hack. So everyone eats beef mince, right? And you know how like it gets a bit
Except
boring.
for the
Yeah,
vegetarian.
that's for vegetarians. Sorry, vegetarians is not for
Everyone
you.
by like 40% of the population.
But majority of the people that try to usually eat healthy have beef mince, right? And everyone finds it so boring because you either go, literally, the normal one that everyone goes for is the burrito mix, or like a taco seasoning, right? But found an Asian version that's actually really good. So in Korea, there's something called bulgogi sauce, right? But you can buy it as a pre-marinade. And it's actually really good because what you do, people also don't like veggies, so this is actually really good. So what you do, you put your beef mince into a big bowl, and then you cut your onions, you grate carrots and lettuce, and you put it in, right? And then before you do that, you put the bulgogi marinade on top. And you can buy it pre-mixed from like an Asian grocer. And you leave it overnight. And then you literally got to cook it the next day and it actually tastes really, really good. You get your fiber, you get your protein, bang.
Shredded zucchini is a game changer.
In my head, you know, like those ads where it's like a cooking show and the ad comes on, it's like someone singing and dancing. We need to make one of those and just put it over the top.
Keith's head.
Cooking with Keith.
Nah, but
It's just Keith in a chef outfit.
yeah, no clothes
And then he
underneath.
turns around. Then he goes up for slam dunk.
In the mini hoop in the back.
Shit.
Oh.
But yeah, that's a new set. That's a subsection number 1.
What subsection number 2?
Subsection number 2 is who's been cooking up at the currently in the finals. So you want to?
It's your segment.
My segment. Holy shit!
Oh my god!
So we've got Sarah from Coburn. can't do this seriously. So she's been cooking up at the moment. What did she get on the weekend? So she averaged
24 and like 13 or something.
Yeah.
I should be upset if I get this wrong. Let me find it.
We're gonna cut this
Let me
out and actually
find
get the
It's
real
like your dad
stats on.
forgetting your stats.
Also, side note, got snubbed for the MVP again this year.
Yeah, crazy work.
Imagine,
We can't get too political
yeah,
on
can't
this.
get political on this. But I feel like personally,
we voted for Sarah.
yeah,
What are those?
personally,
Sarah had 26, 14 and 3
damn,
in their first close game of the season.
Throw it up.
Cookin with Keith. Certified cooker.
No, but personally, I feel like to get an MVP, your team has to be at least winning or in
playoffs.
finals or in playoffs. Yeah, even in
Yeah.
contention.
It's like the way the voting system works. It was always going to be hard because their team's so good. You've got like Steph, Jesse, Danny,
Jules.
Like they're all going to be taking votes off each other. So it was always going to be tough for Sarah to win. But
Whoever
as she
voted
said,
for
as she
MVP.
said last time when she got snubbed, she'll just win that championship and they get finals MVP. So it's fine.
But whoever's voting, please let me know. I want to have a chat to you, 1-on-1.
Conversations with Keith.
Yeah, come well, I'll get you on a podcast. Actually, explain to us how the MVP vote goes. Just want to know.
And why?
I
Is
would
it?
I'm
laugh
just
if it
curious.
turns out it's just Keith and someone
I'm just curious.
that has a legitimate explanation. And he's just like,
I want a step-by-step process of what you look for. Like, obviously, in waffle is different because the umpires vote. But in basketball, does the ref get to
Gibbo's
vote?
rigging it.
Yeah. And also, Gibbo, how is he not in finals?
Is Gibbo not in finals?
No, apparently he's not locked in.
okay, this has
Free
turned into
Gibbo.
complaining with Keith, not cooking with Keith. So-
Free my boy Gibbo.
Yeah, free my boy Gib.
All right.
Oh,
Not bad for the first time. I like it.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
like it. We'll work on it.
We'll work on the graphic.
We stumbled.
We'll get the graphic.
We'll get those intros up and ready. But we'll move on to athlete updates. So obviously it's been a while since. Well, you guys did a big update a couple weeks ago, month ago.
Yeah.
Like 3 weeks ago?
It was
probably
much
longer
longer
than
than that. In
Feels like
Keith's
3
brain,
weeks.
it was 3 weeks ago. But yeah, that was probably that would have been like first half of the season.
Yep.
Obviously, for most of our guys are in the back end of the season or NBL 1, like the start of playoffs. And then D-League's wrapped up. So I guess first big one would be Jonah got MVP for D-League,
Yes,
which
sir.
is pretty cool.
So apalele.
And then what do we got in finals? Sarah, Paddy, Grace. Grace is playing against Paddy this week.
Mhm.
That'll be a good matchup. And the winner of that match plays against Sarah. So that'll be a big one.
Yep.
Then Rocco lost to Willerton, which was huge. They've got another one. Mitch and Warwick, they absolutely cooked Geraldton in Geraldton, which is huge. And that's my prediction for the grand final rematch.
Who?
So Gerald and Warwick. So they will play the winner of East Perth and Rockingham.
East
I
Perth.
think. So that's easy dubs. Easy dubs.
Is that your prediction?
Yeah, I think so.
I reckon it's going to be some team that come out of nowhere. Like Mandra Magic or something for the women's. Like Mandra will come out of nowhere.
Well,
Yeah, for the
no
women's.
one's beating Coburn.
I don't know.
I reckon
about that.
for women's it'll be Coburn, Rockingham again. That was a very good game.
Rockingham nearly beat
Yeah,
Cougars.
that was going to be the first. No, I reckon that'll be a good matchup.
To be fair, I would have if you have a 20-win streak, I would rather get my first loss out of the way.
Yeah, well, they
And at
can't
least
lose
you get
anymore.
out, you can't lose anymore.
It's all knockout now.
That's
But
wild.
no, they're just going to go undefeated.
I'm sure that's never been done, but like all the way through undefeated.
Yeah, actually.
It was the first undefeated regular season for a Coburn team. But I'm sure it's been done before.
That's actually wild, though.
But
It's a
it's
fucking
either
good
way
team.
very impressive.
Who else we got? What's happening in rugby? Who's...
Bazy's out.
Binion,
Yep.
Binion, player of the month.
Binion, yeah.
My boy.
I'm very proud of him. He's had a massive year. Like he came up at the end of last year. I feel like we've had a few of these cases where there are players that are like third grade players, second grade players, even things like Simmer and that. And they get to the end of the year, they're obviously quite keen. They have a big commitment across the off-season and pre-season.
Yep.
He's been one and he's like been in and out of that Prem's team and playing like on the weekend played unreal. So yeah, hats off to him. He deserves it. He's one of those ones that's worked for it. Worked for it pretty hard. Then we've got Rachel's in finals, Soph Wanneroo's in finals.
Wait, you reckon he'll go back to back?
I don't know. I feel like they're the favourites at the moment, but
Calla will run for money
yeah.
again.
What's the other one? Yeah, it's usually between those. Usually between Calla and Wanneroo. I think they've been the last few years in the finals. And then obviously a couple of the North athletes from Wanneroo playing finals as well.
Yep.
And then obviously the Basie Twos will be playing this weekend.
Not me. Up to twos though.
Let's go,
Twos on
Keith.
two. No, wash
Why-
now.
why do you
I'm
play?
done. I'm done. Called it early. No, I actually don't want to play anymore. Actually, like after that last game, I was just like, I'm happy to not play anymore.
Tired.
Yeah, retired.
Retired
happy.
until next year.
Nah,
For
rather
one or two
coach
games.
now.
Year until someone eggs you on and then you'll play.
He's a guy that's 45 that's plays his 100th cap.
You got to be smart about it. What you do, you have like an extended pre and off season. Then you just play that one game.
That's called peaking.
That's
Peaking.
peaking. You peak for that one game, and then
So
you
like
have
everyone, like normal, if you got like Olympic weightlifting, track and field, you're peaking for that one event.
your one event.
But you just do
exactly.
it in team sports because fuck it, why not?
That's what I did, but then I got yellow carded, so didn't really get much of a game time there.
He's also getting in a fight as well.
Oh, that's not me.
You
Pick on someone your own size as well, maybe.
The biggest PG dude out there. Oh,
boxing with Keith. That's the next segment.
Off season.
bad example.
That way you want to get everyone boxing in the off season.
Nah, jiu-jitsu.
Any
Yeah, cool.
updates from your end? Finals?
Oh, not really. I think with Trinity, we've got compared to last year, obviously it's a hard one. Like we debuted about 25 to 30 kids this year, which is unheard of compared to last year. And last year we had a majority year 12 team, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see next year because most of the kids that played this year are all from the younger years.
And we've got a strong year 10 group as well.
very strong year 9, undefeated crew in year 9. So it'll be interesting to see how many of them gets brought up, how many we get from them. There's a couple of new kids coming as well, so it'll be nice to see how well we do. Another one, Leo. So Leo's actually playing 3 games a week. The year 9 and 10s, 11s and 12s, and the 2s. So he got called up to play 2s for UWA.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so he might be possibly playing in the finals for the 2s, which is not certain yet, but he's going really well. So
Killing it.
yeah, killing it at the
Came in
moment.
yesterday, did his 1%ers.
Yes, sir. Did a weird stuff.
And then obviously like guys for me like wrapping up their off season. So Reese flew out on Saturday, straight into the thick of pre-season, and then my boy and Koei, very sad. They left on Saturday.
Yeah,
on
2 Japanese
Friday.
boys. So funny.
All the Wildcats Academy boys came in Monday morning, very sad.
Both
Like, we missed them. I miss them too. Straight
they are
vibes.
funny.
Never a dull moment. So they're off, but they'll be back in the middle of September to play against the Wildcats.
Oh shit!
So
Different teams, eh?
Yeah. So plays for Okinawa team, and Koei plays for Shibuya. So both of their teams are coming over for like a pre-season friendly against Wildcats in Southeast Melbourne. So that's at the HPC, I think, in the
That'll be
middle of
interesting.
September. So
Yeah.
if you're around, get tickets, check it out. I'm sure it'll be good.
Might just go to Tokyo and see him.
Or yeah, if you're in Tokyo, tee up. My brother's going over, and then the one weekend he's in Tokyo is a general bye week for B League, so he won't be able to see them play. That'll be big, and then Brendan leaves next week, back to college.
Bro, honestly, never seen someone complain more.
Complain.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
if you got a complaint count in the gym, then Brendan would 100% win that.
He also never remembers how to do anything.
It's so funny. I love him. He's so funny.
Gonna miss Brendan. So he takes off, and then Sav should have already left, but still, she should hopefully be leaving next week. Trying to think who else. I feel like there's someone else to leave.
Also had Zane.
Oh yeah,
Zane.
Zane on his like 15th off season.
15th off season number 15.
So
Literally.
thick, bro. Yeah, built like that.
Pretty cool vibe. Been training him since what's it now, like 4 or 5 since before Perform,
Yeah.
and just one of those cool ones where he's been coming back and forth from the US, doing an off season every time he's here. He's the like definition of a robot, literally, or 95% until he skips out on his prehab at the start of his sessions and get caught by Keith. But no, it's pretty cool, and even like little stuff like he's for an American football player, like benching 3 plates aside. Which is cool, having him from a kid that was benching like 60, 70 kilos.
Yeah.
Little stuff like that. And then even like he's coming off the back of an ACL rehab, came back, retested a lot of his numbers. A lot of his numbers are actually quite down, and trying to bridge that gap. And that's one thing that I can just keep an eye on as he keeps coming back. And obviously the systems over there are different. It's not as personalised as it is.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's a lot of benefits from that. And setting him away in a better position, setting him away with things to do, and you feel like you ticked all the boxes that you need to do. Had a really successful off season, and then he's not leaving, but also Lockie, the better Hardy,
Oh, yeah.
finished off his off season with us before he starts up cricket season.
Oh, good.
Apparently got beef with Charlie Filia.
Who?
Lockie.
Why?
Apparently Lockie was making fun of her for doing TikTok dances.
Oh,
And then
that's
she made fun of him because he played cricket. So it was
He plays
very
rugby as
tense in the gym yesterday when they were both in here.
Oh, my God. Of course.
Kids, eh? Any other update? We're definitely forgetting some, so obviously apologise. But
Yeah.
anything
Complain.
Oh,
Complain to
side,
Keith.
I reckon
Yeah.
side note,
Well, here we go.
else?
the first ACL run back.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Got it?
loose.
Yeah,
How could we
loose.
forget that?
How can you forget that?
That was really cool. We tried to surprise her on Saturday,
That was
but obviously
pissing
it was torrential rain. But then we went down and came in last night. And I was like, oh yeah, like Bennett Park's absolutely washed out. Can't go down there. And she's looking at me, and I could see her looking at me like, I know you're lying. And I was like, let's just go down to Wembley. Like, if you're gonna go coach down there.
Yeah.
So we went down there, and obviously a bunch of the girls from her team came down early, gave her a bit of a tunnel, and the smile on her face was priceless. And
She said she knew what was coming.
Yeah.
He did not play it well.
yeah, of course not. I can't hold a lie. I'm terrible. But it was also really cool to see. And she, and again, massive credit to Alex Chinny and all the work that he's done. She's absolutely smashed it, and she's ticked every single box, been super resilient. Those first 3 months are tough. No matter who you are, what perspective, what surgery, whatever it is, it's always tough.
Yep.
And she's done incredibly well, and she was super happy. And it was cool to see, like, it's always that initial run, you start to overthink it a bit, and you're like, what's going on? Am I limping? Da-da-da-da. And she just started to calm down and get into her rhythm, and rep by rep by rep was getting better and better and better.
Oh, yeah.
And now she's back to running, so she'll start her return to run process, speed, change direction, all that kind of stuff. So the fun stuff begins now. So well done,
Oh,
Luce.
good.
Anything else?
Definitely missing some.
Just Mr. High Rocks behind us.
Yeah.
When are you competing your first High Rocks?
6th of September.
Yeah, if you want to tune in, is it the
Tune in
Perth
for-
one?
Tune in for the update on that.
The better.
Mason,
We're bringing home the
Ivovich.
flag, the big High Rocks flag. The full kit, sponsored athlete.
I reckon we should get him like, those like weightlifting like onesie want like the power suits.
The zoot suits.
Yeah.
I reckon we should get you like a power suit.
Like a bobsled salute.
All kitted out. If you want Mason to wear, donate $1 towards Mason's Perform bobsled suit that he's going to wear for his High Rocks event.
Free bowling. That squat to wall bowl is going to be crazy.
Anyway, on to the next segment. Just going to do a quick little flashback to last off-season. I feel like there's a bit of PTSD with this.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
Off-season's always PTSD.
I know last year's one was crazy.
It's just ridiculous. But is it like it's cool? It's always one of those things that we've obviously worked very hard to be in the position that we're in now, and this is a very exciting off-season where we've got all 3 facilities set up. We are where we are, and we're in a position to obviously just coach.
Yeah.
No painting, no renovations, no nothing like that. But yeah, it's pretty, like, obviously last year was obviously still one of obviously our biggest off-season yet. With the field sessions, with the court sessions, with the combines, with everything, it was pretty cool. I feel like we kind of set up our structure from an off-season perspective, but obviously it was quite draining from all the external workings that were happening. So, yeah,
It'd be good. Like we've kind of talked about a lot in our meetings and preparation and stuff, like how we're going to refine our systems and our approach, and having Chinny on board is going to be
Big help.
huge for that with our like initial assessment process. Mike is cooked. But like having, an initial screening kind of process where we get testing numbers, identify any points that we need to work on, and then, kind of comparing it to any normative data from like the strength tests, especially guys who have had pre-existing injuries or niggles.
Yep.
Good chance to get just a real objective view on where you're at. And then it helps us with our program design and be able to track progress throughout the off season and whether we're ticking the boxes that we want to do. Because obviously we've got our combines, which that's a very external kind of
it's a big stress.
Big stress, but also like the task that you're completing is very much like an external, and there's obviously skill elements to that and improvement. But if we can also, from a more internal point of view, like did my asymmetry between my left and right on my abduction squeeze, adduction squeeze, so like improve, and whether that's a marker for if someone's had previous groin injuries and that kind of thing, that'll be huge. And then being able to like monitor progress on force plate testing and stuff like that throughout the off season is going to be a big one as well. And then all of us just kind of refining our systems. And now we've got that leaderboard as well. Everything's getting more competitive. Everyone wants to retest. It was funny this morning, I had Sav and Grayson, and they, Sav was doing one of the jumps, beat Grace, and then Grace was like, nah, I want to redo it. They were just, the next thing was like, all right, we've spent 20 minutes of the session just trying to beat each other. But it's from an intent perspective as well, it just gets athletes are competitive, so just another thing that we can utilize to get more intent out of what we're doing and ultimately drive better results from that. Anything you'd like to add, Keith?
Nope. That's pretty good. Well explained, little guy.
That is it. It'll be exciting, obviously, to have all the extra tools, have Chinny on board, especially that initial phase of the general prep, in terms of making sure we're ticking every single little box along the way. But we'll do another podcast on that, specifically in terms of the off-season plan, what we're going to do, how it's going to be laid out, the structuring, the days, coaching, all that kind of stuff. So that'll be in the next few episodes. We'll post that up. But then I guess we could talk about it now if you want.
Let's do it. Why wait?
Keep the people waiting. I feel like you've already touched on it a bit, but that's probably one thing we want to try and make a bit more. It won't be absolutely mandatory, but make a bit more embedded in terms of that initial assessment with Chinny, and then that continuous ongoing assessments across being embedded within the training. Definitely a bit more data collection, but then also just the thought processes of it's still to be absolutely confirmed, but like our structuring. So obviously last year we did 3 field sessions, 1 court. And obviously it was unreal, but I feel like we've got a lot of the same crew. So it's like the benefit of running so many different field sessions is there was so much skill acquisition, there was so much technical change.
Yep.
For a lot of people, they won't need that as much anymore. So there's less frequency needed. And that's where we're going to have that exciting element where it's like I'm wanting some of my rugby guys to go to the court sessions and get an external stimulus. And even we're thinking about doing like a social touch footy team, some social sporting teams and things like that. So we can start to build a bit of a wide, I guess, general base. But then also, like, it does get quite long, the season, like, especially if the off-season is very similar to the pre-season and you're structuring and all that kind of stuff. So we want to add that, I guess, variability and versatility in the programs. And
break up the monotony of it all a bit.
Yeah, 100%. And then we've obviously got the combine, the 2 big combines. So we're even sitting down and restructuring this and having a think about how we can order this and structure this from the actual assessment side of things and how we're going to use that. But the actual assessment, the actual day side of things, so we're unofficially confirmed for the 4th of October for combine number 1, and then the 29th of November for combine number 2. So there's about I think it's like an 8 to 10 week block in between there. So we've got essentially most people will obviously finish the season around August, start of September, either have a couple of weeks off or get into a very versatile program. So a lot more general base kind of work, a lot more versatility.
GPP.
A lot of mobility, and just be exposed to a different stimulus of training. So there might be a bit more gymnastics, there might be a bit more mobility side of things. It might be a bit like try explore different avenues of training just to give the brain a bit of a break, especially for those ones that are motivated. And then also in those early stages, clean up a lot of those niggles. So anything that's sore, anything that's uncomfortable, whether it's a smaller soft tissue side of things, we'll try and clean that up a bit quicker. If there's something that's been lingering around for a bit longer,
Gives us time.
Sorry?
Gives us time to work on that.
Yeah, so we'll use those initial blocks to try and clean that all up and get the body in a good position before we start pushing through the off season. And then for that off season block, we'll be looking at both the smaller kind of battery testing from like the small hips, shoulders, whatever it might be. And then also those performance markers as well, in conjunction with our strength markers, our speed markers, all that kind of stuff. And then obviously use those as our roadmap for our program design for each individual person. So it's something we want to try and break down a little bit more detail. I know, especially for me on the field side of things, so trying to get into a bit more of like the AI softwares from the speed analysis and the visual perspective of like sprint technique, all that kind of stuff, change direction, cutting, get a little bit more of a sharper lens on these early in the off season so we can clean them up. So then when we start to do group sessions, we know everyone's where they need to be before we start pushing it. Anything else to add in there? Anything else from programming side of things? Anything else from a structuring side of things?
No, I think like pretty much just obviously at the back end of the season, so much of it is obviously prioritising performance on the court or field. And so, you know, the gym stuff takes a bit more of a back seat. You know, ticking the boxes, making sure doing what you need to do to keep your body right for the weekend. But now as it switches into like you can afford to have a bit more fatigue, so we've got a little bit more wiggle room programming, opportunity to try new things, because obviously the last thing you want to do like within finals is try a new exercise and then have DOMs for 2 weeks. So, you know, it gives us the opportunity to do that kind of stuff. And then even on the field or the court, it's like a lot of time to reflect on the season and what your role was within your team and how that could potentially expand or change for the upcoming season if you're shifting up in a role or moving to a different club, whatever it is, like moving up into a new team, and what you need to work on from a skill perspective too. Like, do I need to add some more layers to my game? And then how does what we do in the gym and physical development like complement that too? I think that's like a big thing that I've been thinking a lot about, and it's been cool having like both the off-season and in-season stuff running relatively in conjunction for me with guys like Reese, Koe, and a few other guys in and out from college. But then also all my other guys in NBL 1 and Wobble and stuff in season at the moment, like how I'm kind of picking up ideas of like, all right, this has worked really well for this off-season block with Reese, and that's what I want to put into some of my other guys' programs, but layering in, particularly if you've got some sort of an example, like lingering knee injuries and stuff, like get on top of that. And then a big thing that Reese and I worked on was like a slow step in a finish or coming to a harsh decel, and he had some niggling like knee pain and stuff. So obviously initially clean up the knees, making sure they're feeling good, and then building the physical qualities and skills necessary, just like in an isolated environment, like in the gym, and then doing some like decel work, and then how do we lay that into the skill work as well. I think it's just like cool when it all comes together, and then it kind of gets away from like just that gym side of things, and it's like the timing of when he bumps a defender, but he's got the physical base to like do all the footwork and everything needed. I'm sure you have like tackling technique, like obviously you need to have a certain amount of strength and everything within that, but then there's the timing and the technique that's so important. So like stripping back to what's the building blocks that I need to execute this, and then spending time in the different layers of skill development as well is super exciting. And then just like the variability piece, I think is huge. Like a lot of the guys that I've listened to and different ideas that I've picked up, like the variability, especially within the sport, like pretty much any team sport, but like especially basketball, like the variability of movement, the variability of situations that you're going to be in. Like, are we really preparing someone adequately if everything we do is just like bilateral stance, sagittal plane, like 5x5? Like, how do we get outside of that kind of quote unquote traditional like strength and conditioning mindset, and how do we expand that to better prepare athletes for the demands of their sport? Yeah. Any ideas? Any rabbit holes you've gone down?
Nope.
Yeah, it's gonna
Straight and narrow at the moment. I try to not do too much for me. Just been reading a book though. Come on, that's what I'm saying.
Let's go. Have you finished it?
Yes, I have. I finished 3 this year.
3?
Bro, huge.
3 in 3 months. Surprised to sit down that long.
Nah, been really good. Try to focus on the team first, and then athletic season's coming up. But that's the best part, right? Like, I think getting control of the team's good. Like, been doing so much speed work. Half my team ran a sub 1300. Or more than half the team, which is fucking.
I guess that's the cool thing as well. It's like they're not, like you've done obviously speed work within the context of football, and then how that translates to just like something like the athletics, like the school athletics carnival days, like a good like tester.
Well, it's so fun because one of my midfielders actually, been telling him he's so quick. Like, you look at the GPS numbers, like you can tell they're quick. And like 2 of them ran a PB time, one of them ran an 11.5.
Jesus, that's moving.
Yeah, so one of the he plays 3rd grade, so one of them plays 3rd grade. Ran an 11.5, but we reckon the coach, his sprint coach also reckons he can run an sub 11. It's on a year 11, and there's another kid ran a 11.8, and one more ran a 12.1. So, which I was just like, sweet. At least we got a good block and something different as well from them to get away from footy. Because our season only goes for like 2 more weeks. After that, we get 6 weeks to prep for athletics. And we're back into summer sport. But then a lot of them are focusing more on footy, which is good. It gives us a good block to kind of figure out what we want to do. And yeah, good team next year, so it'll be exciting to see.
What do you reckon you'll do in the off-season? Like, have you got any ideas? Have you got any... Because that obviously that was the main thing, is to get an off-season. You don't usually get off-seasons with school teams.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hard one. Like, waffle, like, depends on what grade you play. Like, a lot of the boys that play waffle would go, so for Colts and Futures, they start straight during the summer season. So a lot of them start pre-season at around the start of December, and it goes through, obviously, to when the season starts. But, yeah, we don't, because of the summer sport and how it's mandatory to do a summer sport, none of them really gets an off season. But I think this year the mindset's kind of shifted. I got a really good crew. So I think compared to last year, I only had half the year 12s really bought in, half the team really bought into the gym. But this year is really different. Like you look at the numbers in the gym in the morning, a lot of them was very consistent. A lot of them should do is just them having a bit of fun. I think giving them autonomy to like pick what they want to do in the gym really helps.
Something other than bicep curls.
Yeah, something other than but that's mandatory. Arm farm every session just to keep them engaged. But
every session.
Well, it's something that they can actually do.
We're going to try and handball the ball and it was going to
But that's a good fun. Like that's why I realized it's like the gym stuff last year was just a bit too long. But if you get them to pick, like you put sections in like a cafe menu, let them pick. They actually want to actually train because they get to pick what they're good at, which is good because then it keeps the strength up, numbers up as well.
I think that's when it's like that. It's a whole another podcast in itself, like the art versus science of coaching.
Yeah.
Like what's optimal and like, you know, the rise of that trend of like this is science based and this is optimal and so on and so forth. But like, all right, you can construct the perfect program like you've done in years past where it's like, yeah, this is a really good program, but no one's doing it.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, sweet, 4x20 bicep curls at the end of the program, and all of a sudden, like 75% adherence. Like,
yeah, but it's so depending on what the group is, right, and like what the sport is. Like I realize, like with rowing, like they're like robots, like Zane. Like you put anything in front of them to just do, they won't complain. Like two of the kids that we have, no, three of them that we had last year's rowing crew, the same year's Jarv, they made the national under 19s team. And that group was so elite at rowing. It's because they were so used to just a coach running them stuff and then just do it because they know they can trust the process. But a lot of these footy guys, they don't really like the gym. They would rather just go out there and play. So you'd rather give them something they can stick to. At least, you know, they'll slowly get buy-in there with education as well. But in the off-season, what our plan was to just – it depends on what they need. They're guys that obviously are injured or picked up a niggle during the season. We'll obviously focus on that first during athletic season. So they want to do athletics, they'll focus on that. And guys that are not, I always say to do athletics just so they can get away and just learn a new skill. And then when we get towards the back end athletics, once it finishes, then we train more as a group. But if you're more towards those guys that are very, very high level, those guys usually want to do their own stuff. But I always say like training as a group is probably the way to boost morale and create a bit of chemistry there. And then once a week or once a fortnight, we just go do jiu-jitsu or play a bit of soccer together. So it's going to be fun. Yeah, it'll be really interesting.
That's good. I'm just thinking we've still got 40 minutes to the team meeting, so I feel like we're just starting on the podcast. If we want to keep going down rabbit holes, we might as well do it now while we're cooking. While we're cooking with Keith.
Oh, that's another rabbit hole.
But I feel like that is one important piece. Is like you're obviously constantly evolving and learning, and it is that is that art and science side of things. And I feel like that's something that A, we've got here, but B, we're also very adaptive and very forward thinking where it's like, yeah, we'll write a program, you write the perfect program, all that kind of stuff, and then you're losing that buy-in and then you start to evolve and adapt. And that's one thing I've found, especially my situation is not controlling everyone. I've got a few of them, and it's just the micro conversations.
Yeah.
That's the biggest piece. And it is, especially in team sports, even though it obviously is a team sport, it's that the value of each individual and them feeling like they're getting their own little piece. And especially when there's selection, getting drops, getting picked, benched, it's like that kind of stuff, the emotional roller coaster of that.
Yeah.
And you add in those little layers with, hey, you got to go to the gym 3 times a week to look after your body. It's like, hey, my headspace is cooked. How do we motivate them and keep them going and pushing them and keeping them in the gym? And then even little elements like the photos and the names of the programs that you guys put in for some of the athletes, like little things like that. Like even Axel,
the best and worst thing that could have ever
put on. It's so good.
But even like having some of the athletes come in, and it is, you get in here and you're low motivation. It's cloudy all day long. It's raining. It's miserable. And your workout, the name of your workout makes you giggle. Yeah. Like it's little things like that we're still learning. We still got heaps to go. That's what we're learning is like that, those ebbs and flows. And I've learned, especially this year, those micro conversations and those micro check-ins. And as much as you could have forms and systems and all that kind of stuff, they want a human interaction. because they can easily just bullshit a form.
Yeah.
It's like those little times, and I feel like there's a little bit of intuition in that where you can see motivation dips, or you can see things, or you can see someone getting on the rise and you need to go over and pop them up a little bit, or you can see someone dropping, turning up late to training, missing training sessions, and it's not like, why aren't you training? It's, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
You all good? Like, what's happening? Miss your session this week, what's going on? Oh, feeling a bit tired. Oh, sweet, don't want to change, like, do we need to adjust anything, too much volume? Like, those little micro convos are what keeps, and you feel like it's like a juggling act. You feel like you've got everyone on the plate and you're constantly like going like this, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of the setup that we have as well, is that everything is individualized to that extent, like, and the ability to have so many touch points, whether it's, you know, even if it's my guys coming in with you on a Tuesday afternoon instead of like normally with me, and then and then you also give me a new perspective on my program, and like, hey, maybe you should change this. So it's like, or even, you know, everyone and any of my clients who have like issues with anxiety and they don't want to come in on a day where I'm not there or something, and I say, look, Keith is there on a Monday at South. Like, I don't think you understand how anti-anxiety inducing hanging out with Keith is. And like, it's like Millie, like, she was very apprehensive to come to the gym when I wasn't there, or like she would go outside of Coach House, and I was like, just go in when Keith's there. Like,
you know, the worst thing is I can't public speak. I cannot public speak. It's
for
so
your
bad.
job, it's the perfect setup.
Yeah.
So I think it's good, like, just giving like that fresh perspective from, and then different touch points. Like, you're really good at talking to different people about like food and stuff, and cooking with Keith, giving them different tips on like how they can. Obviously, that's a huge piece.
So many different ways, like with food. You just got to find something that works for them. Like, so easy to cook.
Cooking with Keith part 2 on the same episode.
Is that conversation? I had one with Xander yesterday morning. Yesterday's Monday, yeah. And just that conversation, it's like you're picking up their IQ level of where they're at with food, because a lot of people with nutrition, it's a whole different situation. But like those little conversations, and a lot of it is those convos around like, hey, like, how much protein's in an egg? How much protein's in? We're going to start with protein, but like, you need this amount of protein, but a shake and a piece of chicken breast, and this equals 100 grams, but you need 220 grams. Can you see why you're not eating enough protein? Protein does this, and for your body. You've got a scar on your shoulder, we're trying to heal that up, you want to get big, and it's those little micro convos, and it relates to them and their situation, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's me, and then they get that little bit of spark, and then it's, and you kind of forget it, but it's like, I remember as like 15, 16, 17, and a mentor role would have those conversations, they glue into my brain forever. And it's like those little that massive, instilling it.
I always think, like, one thing I realised this year is like the better you get to know the person, like, in footy is so good because obviously I get to see them basically every day, 2 trainings, 1 game and 3 gyms, so get to see them every day, and the more you get to know the person, the more you understand how to coach them a bit better. Like, because obviously, like you said, like, you can write the perfect program, but if you don't know the individual, you're not going to coach, like, you don't coach as well. And like, you have the same program for the whole team. You change 1 or 2 exercises, makes such a big difference.
Because that is coaching, right?
Yeah.
That is, and that's the beauty of what we've got. 3 different locations. We're all spread out across them all. They're getting different stimulus each time, but they'll have a program come in. One of the boys comes in and it's like his knee's a little bit sore, and then, we're doing this today. Oh, that feels better. Cool. Yeah, sweet. That's how we do it. Same thing. One of my guys there, whatever it is, and you adjust things on the fly. And that's, again, there's that value point of, they feel like they're getting their own, little piece, and they're staying motivated, and their body, because that's the biggest thing, is their body's staying healthy, because that's the one thing that drives motivation and
how well you feel,
and consistency as well.
Yeah, and like consistency trumps everything else. Like,
and like I keep telling the kids as well, it's like the gym shouldn't be a chore. It should be a necessary to your sport. Like, it should help you get better, and it shouldn't be something that obviously like you want. It should be like a fun environment where it's like you're enjoying yourself and you're getting a lot out of it. But it's not like something that you kind of wake up and go, oh, no, not the gym again. It's like, holy shit, it's a gym again. Like, I want to have fun, like lift some heavy weights and not feel like shit. Because in season's the hardest bit, right? Like, if you don't make the finals, you're so sore all the time. Especially if you're playing contact sport, like you play rugby once, the day after, you feel like shit.
Well, it was even interesting, that study that came out recently. about the energy expenditure on collisions, and it's obviously it's the beauty of our industry, and it's consistently evolving. But even looking at that, like the energy expenditure that's coming off from the amount of collisions, and obviously different levels, like depending on the skills and all that kind of stuff, can have a lot more or a lot less. And it's like, learning that information, being like, oh, it's because you've had this much, you need more food.
Yeah.
That's what's going to make you feel better. Whereas some people are just like, oh, I'm tired, I can't be bothered. Like, but I just think of like a question, like if we were to look back on this season, so let's just even say in season, what's one thing we've like learned or one thing we might do different next year? If there is anything
for in season.
In season. Because obviously we do, like we had these combos at the start of the year and we reviewed the last year and then we put things in place. It's usually something we do in like a team meeting. Or even if we can't think of anything, is there anything, probably even a better question, is like the pre-season or the off-season, anything around those times. Because I know for me, looking back at like the off-season, which I'm glad we did, but like the frequencies of exposure on the field probably didn't need as much. And then also, it was mainly because we had such big groups, the individual details of each, I felt like we could have gone in a deeper layer. So like in my head, I'm like, all right, I want to see each of them kind of one-on-one on the field a bit more initially so I can see what's going on, and then even group them a bit more into, you've been here for a while, your speed and technical's where it needs to be. You need more, which we started to do a bit, but obviously it was quite hard with the numbers. But is there anything you can think of on court, on the field, in the gym, from a review perspective?
I mean, for me, are we talking about more like just in general?
In general, yeah, anything you've learned, like it's like anything you'd want to. I think you were saying it before in terms of like the actual court stuff and the integrate and the spectrum, I guess. I don't know, across the gym to the court, like. Or is it even just something you've learned from a perspective in your coaching?
Well, for me personally, from what I've gathered from last year, I think this year, like noticing like coaching wise, I feel like when you have a different type of connection with the client, or even if it's the kids that you're coaching, it makes such a big difference because they do it not just for themselves but also not to disappoint you, and it kind of creates that buy-in as well where they trust you a little bit more and trust the way you coach. Because I think last year, well, I'd relate back to the team again, like the coaching style is a lot different. Obviously we changed a lot of coaches, and compared to this year with a losing season versus a winning season last year, this year I enjoyed it a lot more because the kids actually want to play for not just themselves but for the team. And not saying last year wasn't enjoyable. Last year's probably very enjoyable because you win. But a lot of the players kind of do play for themselves, and you can see the chemistry wasn't like the coaches make a difference in the chemistry as well. And this year, certain positions where you look at and we're not doing well in certain positions, is it because the players are not gelling together, or is it because there's no chemistry there? And one big thing, like the coach Kawali from Trinity, kids love him. Great personality, and not just because he's a good coach, because he actually gets to know you on a deeper level. And I feel like that played such a big part in the way they play. Because if a coach comes up to you before the game and they go, do this, do that, and then you'd make one mistake and they go, no, you're shit. Versus a coach that goes, that's okay, you make a mistake, now you know what you're not to do, you back yourself and go again, like, so different. I reckon next year, obviously, with the way I coach, I think getting to know the person a little bit better, what they like, what they don't like, and obviously with anxiety, stuff like that, it's like, do they enjoy going to the gym? If not, why? And is it better if they come in, instead of with the group, they come in by themselves because I know they're going to get more stuff done there, then at least they can go.
So even that, like, breaking the rules a little bit sometimes, where it's like you've got the generic, because I feel like we try and fit into that. And again, I feel like we like to break the rules a little bit in terms of we don't do everything exact same everyone else does. But it is that, like, breaking the rules sometimes and adjusting your setup and adjusting your structure, because you're looking at it, you're like, that's not working. Yeah. And same thing, we had that during the year with Basie in terms of the structuring of the sessions. Yeah. Like trying to implement certain things and speed at certain times and spark ups at certain times, and you look at it and you see the effect that happens in the team, and you're like, that's not working. Review, change. Yeah. So, anything you can think of?
I think just like for my guys, just like the on-court load, trying to keep that up as much as possible. So obviously, like a lot of guys, as the season finishes, will have a couple of weeks where won't get on court, won't touch a basketball. which is also very important. But then back end of like off season, start of pre-season, like having done more stuff on court myself, it's like you forget like how much volume, and even talking to in court, like obviously that's a whole nother extreme of like they're obviously professionals and how often they're on court and how much they're on court, but it's like the like the chronic volume, like even like thinking back to someone like Clay, like where in our head it's like, all right, we need to manage this person's load, but it's like, oh, actually like we're doing them a disservice to pull them back too much. And it's just like finding that balance. So I think I'd just be trying to like push up a lot of my guys like court volume
to prepare them for that pre-season that they've got to get thrown through.
Exactly,
Okay.
Because like you can't control everything, right? Like I can like most of the time, like these guys go to a club, you can't really control what they do on the field, but you can control how much the leg you can tolerate in general.
Yeah, just building capacity.
That is a tough thing, but especially like with the rugby, it's like you've got 6 different pre-seasons going on.
Yeah.
Some are running laps, some are doing some pretty good stuff, some are just getting absolutely hammered. Not touching a footy, like there's so many different ways.
2 back-to-back Broncos. We love that.
Could be it could be anything. But so it's just like that that physical preparation for you don't know what.
Exactly.
Which is as an S&C sports science, all that kind of stuff, you're like, this doesn't compute.
Yeah.
How do I prepare you? But
I think like even like some programs that I've done in the past as well, like obviously just taking the narrow lens of like for most of us, like training is our sport, like we're not competing on a regular basis. But like when I've done like some trainings and stuff where I've like objectively there's probably like a stupid amount of volume or like really high reps or something, it's like, oh, but like I never get sore anymore because I've just built up. And then I've done like programs and stuff where, and even now like it's a much lower volume, and then it's like I'll do 3x8 reverse lunges and my glutes are trashed for a week.
Well, I couldn't walk last week.
He's on a new booty building program.
Did barbell hip thrust for the first time in a whole year with a deficit reverse lunge. Wonder why my glutes were sore for 3 days. The 4th day, my back just seized up. I was like, hell no. And it got sick as well. And I was like, oh, even better. Oh.
I think it's like, I think that's like an interesting thing for like balancing, like how much volume do we need to like prepare someone without cooking them. And just balancing that.
It's kind of like that, like I feel like it's gone full circle, like that robust phrase. Like that was big a couple of years ago, especially like the John Pryor kind of phases and stuff like that, like being robust and being able to be tolerant to whatever can be thrown at you, which is tough because it is. There's and then especially when you're juggling, there's difference when you kind of you're juggling that with athletes that haven't had a lot of off seasons and chronic load build up before. So you want to build them robust and versatile, but then also you're still trying to build up slowly and get them to a point where they can be exposed to all the general stresses. So it's like, it's a tough one, and that's
balancing. And there's like, we'll just getting better at like say back squats and just getting more volume of that in the initial stages will probably do a lot for just general robustness because you're now just globally stronger and everything. Versus someone who's done that for 3 years in a row, and it's like, all right, maybe doing more lunges, lateral lunges, and all that kind of stuff is going to be of greater benefit. Versus like that someone who's just like generally weak. It's like, scrap the variation. It's like, let's just hone in and just get really good at this, and have a little bit of other stuff. Is like finding that balance and where someone sits along that spectrum. And I think that's just like an interesting thing that I've definitely like tossing up, and like, how much volume of that do I keep in during the season as well? Like, if someone's built up such a high work capacity and volume in the off season, just trying to keep as much of that in so they can tolerate more training, then we can expose them to more variability. And then even though objectively you look at that, like, oh, damn, they're doing a lot of training, but it's like, if all the other boxes have been ticked, they're eating enough, they're controlling their other stress, sleeping well, it's like, why not? Like, they can handle that relative volume. Even from like a plyometric standpoint, like a lot of people probably look at some of my programs where it's like, oh, this is like a crazy amount of volume of contacts and stuff.
You've done it so
but
long.
they've done like 2 years of building up to that. And then you got other guys just like, yeah, like you're getting like shin responses or your feet are getting sore because you haven't built up that work capacity. So it's like, I think off season is the easiest time for building that capacity because we can control so many more of the stresses versus once you get in season, it's like basketball's like pretty brutal. It's like you could go from some guys who like you're standing on the sideline at training for 95% of training watching, and then all of a sudden someone gets injured and then you're into doing pretty much all the training, or you're going from cold to getting into a drill, and like if you're handling niggles and then you're chronic and acute volumes like all over the place.
I found that weird paradox where it's like you have someone that's like physiologically, like they're strong and they have the ability to put a lot of stress through their system in the sport, but they don't have the capacity built underneath them. So they're constantly like, they're getting the aches, they're getting the niggles, they're breaking down, stuff like that. But then like, because they're not putting that under, that they're not, what's the word I'm trying to say? Like, I guess they don't have that strong system behind them.
It's just like you got like
but then
really
they can still work around it. They can still just smash themselves. But every time they do it, they've got so much ability to stress their system. They just keep stressing, and it's just that yo-yo back and forth. And it's that time where you can pull off that stress that they keep putting to themselves in the sport and build that up.
It's a bit like Jarvie.
Yeah,
you can handle so much stress. Like building like off-season wise,
rollers
the rollers are different breed. Like you want to know his schedule is like the most wild thing I've ever seen. Like these guys are rowing twice a day. Like Monday morning they're rowing in the water, and this bear mind is like 4:30 in the morning, and in the afternoon that's his main full body session, and then Tuesday it's 2 rowing sessions again, morning and afternoon. Wednesday's the exact same. Thursday's the same, but you get the afternoon off, and then Friday you get the morning row, and then the afternoon gym, and then Saturday row, and then Sunday's your day off. And when it comes towards more the in season, so they've got a big row coming up in the end of this month, so start of September, and leading up to that in the 3 weeks prior, 3-4 weeks prior, the waist does this thing where they have to test your 2K or lactic acid, whatever that means. Is like you got to test twice a week for 3 weeks, 4 weeks leading up to the comp. And it's the most wild thing. It's like you're never going to feel good, like consistently. But apparently you're meant to be feeling good consistently. I'm like, how are you supposed to get PBs for 4 weeks before your main row?
It's just that thing of the chronic load exposure. Like some of them have built that up, but then it's like.
Not everyone has though. Like
yeah, absolutely. But then it's like you push that end of the ceiling where it's like the room for error is so much smaller. Food, sleep, stress, all those things. It's non-negotiable because you could probably miss one night's sleep, and that one night's sleep is what just cascades.
Kill you.
Yeah, you only figure that out 3 weeks later when everything breaks down.
That's high performance sport where it's like you're living on and then that is the tough thing, and it's like it is a kind of make or break.
Yeah.
And it's like that end of the sport is where it's like that 1% is what's going to get you in the door. But then, again, all the different strategies and approaches and schedules and all that's all different philosophies and things. So
yeah, I think it's always different with a sport like rowing and track and field and weightlifting and stuff like that, where like the physical output dictates so much versus a team sport where obviously depending on position and stuff, like you can't be a weak front rower, like that just doesn't exist, but there's going to be elements of skills and stuff that can potentially hide certain deficits, and working around your strengths and weaknesses is going to be huge.
That's an hour.
Good.
Well, if anyone's still listening, well done.
I think we need to put the heading as 2 podcasts in one.
So
this is episode 25 and 26, so we'll see you in December.
Yeah. Come for Cooking with Keith and stay for the rambling.
But for real, like, I feel like if you have any questions,
send them to Keith
send
and he
them
won't reply.
We can create a segment, like another segment where it's like
where Keith replies to all the unread messages.
So if you're only
so if Keith has left you on red, just screenshot it, send it to one of us, and then we'll have
just Treen sending a message in. Keith, are you coming home tonight?
Hell no.
But yeah, if you've got any unresponded messages from Keith or to Keith, send them to us, and then we'll have a dedicated episode where we just ask Keith those questions.
It was actually pretty interesting to see what questions come in.
I'm like, oh yeah, I did see this one 6 months ago. Just never replied.
By the way, I don't mean to leave people in reply. I see it and I just don't reply.
I'll send you work-related stuff and you still don't reply.
No, you know how you can press it, you look at it, you do it, and then I just go, I just finish it and I'm like, oh shit.
Just call him. It works. Just call him.
But then you also like, he doesn't hang up.
That is also very
so
true.
it's like 50-50. Yeah.
Get 3 months worth of convos in.
Yeah, I was driving home from Coburn, which takes me like half an hour. He called me just as I left. And then I'm like sitting in my driveway for another 10 minutes, like waiting for you. I'm like, Keith, I got to go in to have dinner.
Oh, fuck.
All right, we'll wrap it up on that. That's been a good one, I reckon. Good to get us all back together.
The
I'm sure we'll try and do this again before Adam leaves in the next few weeks.
This was really nice. We should do it again sometime.
Sign out, Keith.
Thank you very much for listening to 2.5 Coaches. Catch you in the next episode. Like and subscribe.